Welcome everyone to this team matchmaking game. I'm Panda, and we have an exciting game here between Slow Gaming and Mighty Ducks. As we go down the lineups for the Radiant side, it's going to likely be a tri-lane with Marina in the bottom lane, along with the Bane Elemental. Clockwork going to be taking up what looks to be the mid lane, and Elder Titan in the off lane, up against what looks to be a duo lane of the Night Stalker and possibly Witch Doctor, unless they decide to go contest the tri-lane, which looks like the dire side is going to go do. Alchemist in the mid lane should be a pretty good matchup up against Clockwork. Both of them pretty annoying against each other. Just throw down the acid spray and the cogs, and they're basically just going to completely ignore each other and just kind of hit them with harassment. Don't think there's any significant killing potential unless there's a rotation. Night Stalker taking up the solo top should be just fine unless duo lanes come out, or a possibly aggressive tri-lane, as the two supports from the Radiant side are still here, kind of waiting to see where to go. Jungle invade already happening as Lion, Witch Doctor, and Juggernaut make up an incredibly powerful tri-lane. Land one stun on the Lion, follow it up with a cask from the Witch Doctor, and you can easily burn them down with Juggernaut. Should be a very interesting matchup to see how that goes. Invisibility rune top, let's see who decides to actually pick that up. Likely going to be the Bane Elemental picking that up, rotating in the mid lane, and getting some very good harassment on the Alchemist. Smoke has been popped, and we're going to see if they can actually get something going, as they really want to shut down this Alchemist. Alchemist is in decent position, and he's not going to be easy to kill, especially if he plays defensively. And it looks like he is going to be playing very defensively. Just throw down the acid spray early, try and go for the last hit spin. There's the Nightmare. Alchemist in a lot of trouble. Perfect use of cogs, but Bane Elemental, his Nightmare was taken. Looks like there's a lot of troubles. Alchemist is going to go down for first blood. Clockwork almost going down, taking a lot of harassment, but completely worth it. Visage really making a mistake there, taking the Nightmare. And that's something you really just can't afford to have happen, is that almost cost Clockwork his life. Though completely worth it in the end. Excellent rotation as Lion comes up, lands a good stun. There's the cask, and it is going to bounce. It's way too much damage on the Bane Elemental, and there's Juggernaut going to be an easy kill. Perfectly executed. Surprised they didn't see him with his ward up top, as it definitely saw the Lion walking in. Just an excellent play overall, as Lion's going to continually harass the Visage. And I definitely favor the Dire team if this goes late. They have a much stronger carry in the Juggernaut compared to the Marina. And they also have the Night Stalker and Alchemist, who are incredibly powerful carries as well. Slow Gaming is going to have to make something happen early. They have the team to do so with the Bane and Marina combo. It's just a question of, will they be able to use it effectively? And will they be able to actually get in there and not be stunned out the wazoo? Because as soon as they go on someone like Juggernaut or Witch Doctor or Lion, the other stunner will come in there and throw out their stun and generally keep them safe for a good bit of time. Night Stalker versus the Elder Titan's pretty much a even matchup up top. Neither one of them can kill the other. They're both incredibly tanky and don't do significant amounts of damage at this point in the game. And it's basically going to come down to who rotates around and finds a kill. Unless you're talking about unless it's the Mighty Ducks, who are going to be able to just farm it out until late game. As Bane Elemental's in a good bit of trouble. He's only level 1, which is really hurting him at this point. Level 2 would make a huge difference, being able to apply the Enfeeble and shut down a lot of Juggernaut's damage. Nightmared up. There comes the arrow on the Witch Doctor. He is stunned up, but there's the counter initiation. Beautiful Blade Flurry. And the Juggernaut just wrecks the Visage. Bane Elemental in a lot of trouble. He's going to have to teleport out. Is there another stun? There is not, but a crit. Double kill. Perfectly played. And that's the counter initiation we're talking about. They lost one, but completely worth it overall. You can afford to lose one in that matchup, especially considering you picked up both of the supports, and the kills are very in favor of Mighty Ducks at this point. They're also getting a lot more out of their lanes, as the Night Stalker has started to throw out some harassment on the Elder Titan up top. He's taken a small CS lead, and considering it's the safe lane and there's not going to be able to really pull, I think it's going to be a big advantage to the Mighty Ducks, considering Slow Gaming can't really pull without letting Marina in just way too much trouble. The cask has a very long range and is great setup. Marina only has the 1-pointed leap, so she can only use it every 30 seconds, and it's not that effective because you have to spend the time turning around. And I expect this pull to be very contested, as they have to know that it's going on. And there we are. Bane Elemental is going to take a good bit of damage from the Blade Flurry, but he is doing a wise decision, just roaming around. Cask is thrown, but ouch, not when you wanted to jump in there. Tons of damage, but they do manage to pick up 1 kill, and they should be able to pick up the Bane Elemental as well. Lion not going to be able to do much damage, but got way too greedy, diving under the tower, just in tower range. Evening this game up at 4 apiece, as Mighty Ducks really getting greedy there. You can't dive under a tower this early in the game with your squishy supports. Juggernaut might have been able to take a hit or two, as it's going to see the first rotation of the game. Lion going in up top, but there's no one in this lane at the moment. Night Stalker's getting free farm. Alchemist has recovered and is doing a good job on the Clockwork. Clockwork just going to be running away and using the high ground to his advantage and getting a stun, but there's a big stun from the Alchemist, charging as long as he could, and Alchemist is going to be able to pick up an easy kill. Excellent decision by the Alchemist to just continually fight. Clockwork can't do a whole lot in this lane at this point. He was off to a good start. It's just what happens when you're against the Alchemist. He whittles you down, and unless you're prepared for it or get some rotations, he has the better long-range harass and has a bit better of a fighting capability with his ultimate. Top lane, we're going to see an easy kill onto the Elder Titan. Didn't realize Lion was up here, and he gives away a much-needed kill to this Night Stalker. He's getting very powerful, as he has the highest last hits in the game. Not the highest net worth, as I believe something's on the courier. Clockwork actually finds the Alchemist kill. Really surprised the Alchemist was able to be killed there so easily, as Clockwork just used his hook, came in, and he is up a level on the Alchemist at this point. And that's what really did it, thanks to that early first blood. Marina getting some decent farm in this bottom lane, as she's 14-1 compared to the Juggernaut's 19-7. The problem is Marina is not nearly as good a carry as Juggernaut. Juggernaut has had to kind of deviate from his build, picking up the shield, as the poor man's shield does give some good damage block. It's not particularly efficient, especially late game. Witch Doctor in a lot of trouble, but Juggernaut does spin there, misses the arrow, and that is an easy kill. Juggernaut did do a good job of trying to block it, but just not good enough, as he was not able to seal the deal and take the arrow hit with the Blade Flurry, as that will prevent the stun, and basically in that early aggression. Mid lane, Lion's waiting for initiation from Clockwork. His hook is up, he has the haste rune. Clockwork might be waiting for level 8, as that's an extra point in cogs or flare, and Night Stalker picks up the Elder Titan in the top lane. I don't think this Elder Titan can stay up here much longer. It's going to have to rotate to either the jungle or help out in the bottom lane, as Night Stalker's just way too strong at this point. He's picked up several kills, as he's at 2-0-0, significantly higher in farm, and Elder Titan just can't deal with him. Night Stalker way too strong, as the Elder Titans had to go for a very kind of lackluster build, picking up just the Magic Wand, which doesn't help that much against Night Stalker, as there's only so many spells. Blade Flurry gets off in just the right time, allows him to dodge the arrow, and he's too short on mana to use his ultimate. Cast does some good damage, but it's not enough. Clockwork comes in from the top, and that's a very dead Witch Doctor. Excellent play, as Slow Gaming has taken the lead, but I don't think we're going to see Clockwork get out of there, as Alchemist is actually on the run. The Lion didn't have a spell for that fight, and without that extra stun, really hurts him and the ability to pick up that kill. So excellent rotation by Slow Gaming, and they just done a very good job of finding those kills in the bottom lane. The downside is they're not getting nearly as much farm, as the Night Stalker is basically doubling up everyone on the map. Alchemist is going to come in with a big stun, and I don't think Marina's getting out of this one alive, as she took tons of damage from that stun, and Alchemist easily ends her dominating spree. Visage doing the smart thing, just teleporting away. No real reason to stay and fight, as there was no chance of him picking up any kills or getting out of there alive. He didn't teleport when he did. Witch Doctor was right on his tail. Back in the top lane, Night Stalker already with the urn. He's used the charge or two of it up, though I don't think he cares that much. He just wants to continue farming. He's done an excellent job so far. Clockwork picks up a kill in the bottom lane, so he did jump in there. Visage in a lot of trouble because he does take a good bit of damage, but not enough mana on the Juggernaut. Arrow does fly, hits a creep. Same thing with the Alchemist. He's out of mana, and that's really killing them at this point. They need the Arcane Boots on the Witch Doctor or Lion. Night Stalker picks up a kill up top, and it looks like they're going for another one as he just continues to whack on the Bane Elemental, and Bane will go down. Nice tower aggro, but Clockwork there to seal the deal.
A little advice.
Overall, not a very good trade for the Mighty Ducks, as they did a good job getting those first 2 kills, but Clockwork just came in there at the right time, finished off everyone, and took the experience for both of those kills. This game is really interesting as we take a look at the gold chart. Less than 1,000 gold between them, and experience is basically dead even, as Slow Gaming and Mighty Ducks are doing an excellent job of finding kills. The big difference here is how much Night Stalker is getting compared to everyone else, and the fact Mighty Ducks have a much stronger late game lineup. The Slow Gaming lineup is all about snowballing in this early game with the Marina and Bane Elemental. And that's one of those things. You're going to have it happen as Marina does get stunned up. Cast does fly. The question is how many stuns will it hit, and only one. So Marina gets away pretty easily. Familiars are in the area if they want to do anything. Arrow flies, but off the mark. Right in between them both, as they didn't chain the stuns well enough on the side of Mighty Ducks. It's the one big weakness of the Witch Doctor, is that he just doesn't have a very reliable stun outside of kind of an interrupt, as each of the casts is only a 1-second stun. Basically everybody in the bottom lane with the exception of the Night Stalker, so we're going to see some kills happening very soon. Bane coming up, not level 6 though, which is a big weakness. Lion in a lot of trouble, but they do sleep the Juggernaut. Oh, time with a very good ultimate. No bounces on the cast. Marina pwns the Juggernaut, as Alchemist is likely to go down as well. He gets slowed up. Visage kills the Witch Doctor, and 3 for 1, 4 for none on the side of Slow Gaming. Exactly what they needed. Perfectly played. Having Clockwork come from behind, chain the sleep into the arrow to make sure Juggernaut doesn't get a spin off. And now they're going to be able to easily take this tower. And that really switched things around. Slow Gaming, huge experience, huge gold lead, relatively speaking, considering they were down 1,000 gold. It's 1,000 gold swing. 2,000 plus gold or experience gained from that, and a really excellent play. That's what we're going to have to see from this lineup. Use the Elder Titan and Clockwork to set things up, and if they can keep kills like that, they can shut this Juggernaut down. He does not have a lot of farm, and he's gone for a very farm light build, as he does throw the ultimate out in one quick kill. Bane Elemental in a lot of trouble, as he is going to be stunned up. No chance he gets out of this alive. But in the top lane, Night Stalker is going to be taken down thanks to another Clockwork initiation and Marina arrow. 3 for 1, but killing that Night Stalker. Incredibly important considering how much he's farmed. He is the highest net worth in the game. He's picked up a few kills so far, but the big thing is his farm. He's basically doubling everyone up, as he's 70 minions to 40 on the closest one. Really expect to see Night Stalker picking up an early BKB and just running through the enemy team. He doesn't need a lot at this point. He just needs to finish that off so he can run through the Nightmare, run through the Clockwork stuns, and basically get to the back line, as he really doesn't need any more damage. He has enough that basically everyone's a squishy to him at this point. And they also have a lot of follow-up damage, as Alchemist stun and Lion ultimate do insane amounts of damage. And if he can draw the fire, Witch Doctor has one of the most powerful ultimates in the game. It's just a matter of actually channeling it for a significant duration. Though, as we've seen in the past few fights, if Slow Gaming gets a good initiation, it doesn't matter what you have in terms of items. They can just blow you to bits, as they reduce your armor and magic resistance to basically nothing at this point, as most characters don't have bonus armor or magic resistance at this point. Alchemist going to throw down the acid sprays. Elder Titan looks for a kill. He does not have a point in the stomp, so we aren't going to see any real initiation off of this. They're just going to be able to do some good damage to the tower. Clockwork's going to come in. Alchemist very dead at this point, but it looks like they aren't going to be able to get a whole lot of follow-up, so Alchemist could get a concoction off, and he does, but he does go down. Night Stalker hit with a Fiend's Grip and going to be taken out. Witch Doctor taken out as well. Juggernaut is here, but he gets slept. He does get a good ultimate off, but it's just no damage with the Familiars there to soak. Lion in a lot of trouble as well. And that's going to be a full team wipe, not taking anyone down. Didn't get anything for that fight, and Slow Gaming using that mid-game combo to their advantage. And this is exactly what they drafted for. A very early to mid-game gank squad. And this should be Roshan if they want it. Though I think they're going to be playing it very safe at this point, not wanting to give up kills, realizing they're pretty far ahead after that, and it's only going to get worse if they continue to take fights like that. 4,000 plus in experience, almost 3,000 in terms of gold, and they were down most of the early game thanks to the Night Stalker faring better and beating the Elder Titan in lane pretty hard. But this lineup isn't about winning lanes, it's all about winning these team fights at this point. And we're going to need to see an Alchemist with a BKB pretty soon. He's picked up a Blink Dagger, so he wants to initiate. That's just one of those items that's really good on Alchemist, especially considering they don't have another good initiator on their team. Blink Hex with Lion would be good, but he's way too squishy and is likely to be just killed before he gets anything more than one ability off. Cask is thrown and it does bounce around, but only hits Clockwork once, and with that haste rune, he's going to be okay. Looks like Lion does get a good kill as Clockwork's going to go down here. Lion used his full combo to pick up the Bane Elemental on the side, and this is going to be an easy tower for Mighty Ducks. That is the power of their lineup, as they have amazing burst damage. Juggernaut is hit. He's going to take a lot of damage from the splitter, already down to half health, but he does get the Battle Fury off, so he should be okay. Elder Titan gets the deny, but Alchemist gets a beautiful stun on the Visage. Visage not taking that much damage. Ultimate pop by the Witch Doctor, and they trade their lives. Good stomp, but I don't think there's going to be enough follow-up. Marina's already been killed. Juggernaut in pretty poor shape, but that Familiar doesn't get his attacks off. He might have been able to finish him off if he did. And that should be the Night Stalker's BKB at any point now. He just needs a tiny bit more gold to finish that off. And this will be a real big game-changing item. If Night Stalker can avoid that initial set of CC, he's going to be able to just dive on the back lines and be perfectly fine. The big problem for Night Stalker is there's a Fiend's Grip on the other side. No matter what the Night Stalker gets in terms of magic immunity, or however long that BKB is, Bane Elemental can basically shut him down. So I expect to see BKBs up on the Alchemist as well, so Bane Elemental has to choose who to go for. Juggernaut likely to go for an Aghanim Scepter at this point. I think that'd be the best choice here. Just allow him to get an amazing ult off. They don't need a ton of damage because Slow Gaming is not particularly tanky. They just really need to get a good fight going, as it looks like it is Roshan. No wards in this area. There's going to be a ward placed by the Visage, but it's just a little too late. Night Stalker pops the ultimate, and they have to know something's up, considering no one's defending this top tower. It's one of those situations where if no one's defending a pretty easy to get tower and a pretty easy to defend tower, you know they're up to something. And Slow Gaming just is not in a position to fight. Juggernaut has maxed the healing ward, so this is going to be very easy. And that's exactly what Mighty Ducks need to get back in this. And they're going to... should be able to pick up that Familiar. Yes, Lion picks it up from a distance. No trade even, as this game is almost back to even. There's the stomp by the Elder Titan, but BKB is shown off. Visage doesn't get a chance to do anything, nor does Bane, as he is hexed right away, and that is an amazing fight for Mighty Ducks. Slow Gaming just not prepared for that Roshan. Alchemist still going to run up, does pop the blink, but it is not enough. As Clockwork trying to make something happen and at least avoid this tower getting mauled.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It really surprised Mighty Ducks are not going straight for the tower. They have the opportunity to do so, but Clockwork's going to be picked off. Very easy kill. cost them the ultimate of Juggernaut, but they're going to take that, as Clockwork is one of the higher levels in the game, sitting at level 12. And Mighty Ducks have taken a huge lead, thanks to having the Aegis, picking off several kills. And they've already taken back a 5,000 experience deficit. Almost 4,000 gold deficit they've come back from. And just off that Roshan and one or two good fights. And this is looking really bad for Slow Gaming. They just don't have the lineup to take this late. They need to find these fights in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Because if they don't, they're in incredible amounts of trouble. Marina's not going to be carrying nearly as hard as the Tricore of Mighty Ducks.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Marina in a lot of trouble. She pops the Moonlight Shadow and just teleports away. The Alchemist with the haste rune not going to be able to find anything. But Visage does pick up the tower. Good use of familiars. As those familiars are going to be really critical about finding someone in the next fight and getting a good area effects done. Because that's really been the difference in these last 2 or 3 fights. The familiars have been able to get in there, get a good stun, and get a good bit of damage off. And when they lost, they didn't get any set of initiation on the side of Slow Gaming. Juggernaut takes yet another tower, as it looks like Slow Gaming is going for the big push mid. I don't foresee Slow Gaming being able to take this tower without losing multiple towers, as this top tower doesn't have any chance of surviving for very long, as the damage from the Alchemist Juggernaut is just way too high. Night Stalker also with an amazing set of damage. Earth Splitter is popped, but nice use of Blink to just get away from it. Marina is in the area, does get spotted out by the Witch Doctor, and Marina's very low, likely to go down. Witch Doctor ultimate used, but completely worth it. Lion is very low, but they do get the tower. So a decent trade-off. Not good, but decent, as you really wanted to keep your Marina alive. And if she didn't mess up that jump, she would have been just fine. She's almost worked her way up to a Manta style, which will give her some good damage and good split push ability. Though I'm not sure how effective it's going to be. Clockwork using his hook defensively, as he's not going for an Aghanim Scepter anytime soon. I'd like to see that on him so he can initiate and basically stop another BKB for a few moments, but I don't think he's going to be able to pick that up anytime. And it looks like Lion's in a lot of trouble. Just no reason to be out here. Way too deep. And I'm not sure why he was there. He didn't have a very useful ward. And it is going to be Visage going for the pipe. Really love this decision. They already have the mech up on the Elder Titan. Having that pipe will prevent a lot of magic damage and really keep their lineup viable for another 5 or so minutes, as they're already running out of steam, as we've seen in those last few fights. Game is perfectly even, as it's less than 1,000 golden experience. Both sides really trying to find a good fight, as Slow Gaming is going to be grouping up top, trying to find someone in this top jungle. They've had to have seen Night Stalker rotate into this camp. Arrow does fly, but it's off the mark, and Night Stalker is slept. Does take a good bit of damage. I don't think he's getting out of this beautiful use of ward, but he does only lose the Aegis. He does pop the BKB and just decides to run away. Doesn't want to initiate. He had Lion behind him, but Lion doesn't have the mobility to really get in there and get a good fight going. He needs that Force Staff. Same thing with Witch Doctor. Both of those characters become incredibly deadly once you're able to initiate with a Force Staff Cask or a Force Staff Earth Spike. Juggernaut's going for a split push, but he is caught out there, and he is going to be able to teleport away. Big downside to Clockwork: as soon as you get in there with your hookshot, you don't have a way to interrupt the spin teleport. You can use hookshot to stop it, but that's a big cooldown that you really need for mobility at this point. Both sides continuing the farm. They found the kill onto the Night Stalker, or at least bringing down his Aegis, so you don't have to worry about that for another few minutes. Manta Style will be finished on Marina in just a few moments. It's going to give her a good bit of extra team fight, as you get a lot of damage, and you're able to split push a bit better. You can use the illusions for scouting as well, as that's going to be really critical in these next few fights. Who gets the initiation? If Slow Gaming gets it, they have a good chance to win the fight. If they don't, I think they're going to be steamrolled over. Especially considering Juggernaut has just finished up his Aghanim Scepter as soon as he gets used to the Courier. As Night Stalker finished up the Basher, which is going to be even more deadly. If he gets a good bash, that basically ends whoever uses its fight. If he gets a good bash on Bane Elemental, he could possibly even stop a Fiend's Grip. And that is pretty much the only CC that goes through BKB or the Blade Flurry. And it's going to be incredibly important in these next few fights. Split push here by Slow Gaming, as they really need to find an engagement soon. Gold and experience is even, but it doesn't feel that way, as it's been whoever initiates the fight. BKB almost up on the Alchemist, just needs to have it brought to him. And this is a critical junction for the Mighty Ducks. They just picked up 3 incredibly big items. They're going to have a 4-staff up on Lion fairly soon. And there's nothing coming out on Slow Gaming anytime soon, with the exception of the pipe. As Marina's just finished up Manta Style, and Clockwork's well off his next item, which likely to be the Aghanim Scepter, so that he can truly initiate these fights. Elder Titan likely be going for either a BKB or Heaven's Halberd. I'd love to see a Heaven's Halberd on him, because as soon as the BKBs are down, you can really stop Juggernaut or Night Stalker from wailing on your team. And it just becomes an excellent item in order to keep him alive longer and apply some good damage, with a chance to slow, which becomes incredibly valuable once those BKBs are down. It's pretty much all the carries on the side of Mighty Ducks are melee carries, and Slow's become incredibly effective against them. Smoke has been popped, and they're going to run for the Night Stalker in the top lane. Night Stalker is going to be able to run away. They don't have any way to initiate at this point. Bane is just too slow, and Night Stalker way too fast.
Top tower is under attack.
They do see him, but I don't think that's the right target to go on. Clockwork had the hook if he wanted to use it. Just really risky when you don't see the rest of the team. You just saw one person in mid pushing it out, and if you don't have any vision, which is the big problem here for Slow Gaming, they've got one ward in this middle lane, and they got one ward up top. You just can't really go in effectively. Juggernaut in a lot of troubles. He's been slapped, gets Fiend's Gripped, and is gonna go down without a fight. Perfectly done. Clockwork misses the hook, as Lion does a great job of dodging it. Alchemist way far away from this fight. They could have gone on if they realized he'd been stunned. Just a very fortunate Alchemist there, and that is the big downside to the lineup of Mighty Ducks. If they get initiated on, they don't have great follow-up unless your team is really ready, and Slow Gaming played that perfectly. Take the free kill. Lion is invisible, and he's going to see exactly where they're running to. Night Stalker almost in trouble, but he is going to give away that Ancient Dragon if they see it. And yeah, they definitely see it. Take the free almost kill, as it's worth about 250 gold. Pipe finished up on the Visage, and this is getting really interesting, as that prevents a lot of the magic damage that's going to come out. And if they don't have that magical burst, it can get really hairy. Juggernaut's forced to pop the Blade Flurry incredibly early. Stomp's going to come out, but just off the mark. Alchemist blinks in there, gets a good stun on Marina, but does not do a whole lot of damage. He pops his new BKB, and it's going to be the Visage going down, but only the Visage down at the moment. Lucky bash, and Marina is in a lot of trouble and will go down. Clockwork comes in, but just too late, as he really needs to get in there before Marina died. He's going to be taken down thanks to a huge concoction. The Moonlight Shadow has now worn off, and there's no way Clockwork gets out of this unless he gets a beautiful 4-staff. And that is just the big downside of Marina not having BKB. Elder Titan in a lot of trouble. He does get silenced up, and that is a very dead Elder Titan. Gets another beautiful bash. Oh, very lucky. They didn't see Bane Elemental, though. Very fortunate for him, as he did get stunned without her spike. Incredibly well done on the side of Mighty Ducks. And if Marina doesn't have BKB, she really gets caught out, and there's no damage to follow that up. There's a fair amount of magical burst, but there's just not enough. As you really need Marina to sit back, auto-attack, and carry her team to victory. She's just not capable at this point. With 2 BKBs up, and a very fat Juggernaut, who didn't even need his ultimate for that last fight. Clockwork does find the Alchemist in the middle lane, just out in the middle of nowhere. Looks like he did get a bit of help from the familiars and a double damage run. So it's going to be an attempted trade from Slow Gaming as they're going to push the middle lane. I don't think they can get a good fight at this point unless Clockwork gets back there. Juggernaut going to run forward, try to get the ultimate off, but just not in range. Roshan has respawned, and the top tower is in a bit of trouble as Mighty Ducks decide to retreat. Good timing on the retreat. No reason to stay for too long. And Juggernaut finishes off the Vlads, which is insanely good for his team. 3 melee carries. And that means lifesteal and bonus damage for everyone. Exactly what you need on this team. Flare comes from the Clockwork. Roshan going down fast, but not fast enough, as they don't have the Alchemist here for the spray. Arrow does fly, and it does hit the Juggernaut thanks to being pulled in. But Clockwork is forced to run away. Juggernaut in a lot of trouble. He does get the spin off, but he's going to go down to the familiars. And without Juggernaut, this is going to be very hard. Alchemist has picked up the kill on Marina. Aegis was picked up by the Night Stalker. Bane goes down as the Doctor gets a full channel on his ultimate off. And I don't think Elder Titan's going to be able to make this. Slow Gaming just running out of time, and it is basically Mighty Ducks in full control of this game. They managed to pick up Roshan, and Night Stalker used the Aegis perfectly, dying as soon as he could with it, and really keeping this fight in the favor of Mighty Ducks. Witch Doctor played incredibly well, as he basically sat back, got a full channel off on his ultimate, and really, Alchemist was a star of that. He soaked up so much damage in CC with that BKB that Slow Gaming just could not get anything going. And those BKBs are proving incredibly powerful, as Marina just doesn't have the physical damage to carry, and there's no other physical damage to speak of, as Lion has gone Dagon. And it looks like we're going to have Night Stalker in a lot of trouble. It's going to take a lot of damage, but the cask is just way too powerful. Beautiful stun from the Alchemist, an incredibly big turnaround, though Night Stalker did pop his BKB. It is just not enough. There comes the Battle Fury, and then he does not actually get the Battle Fury off. Blade Fury did some good damage, picked off the Bane Elemental. And there's the concoction. Does keep the Clockwork at bay. Night Stalker stunned up, but he just has too much regen at this point. And the Elder Titan does do some good damage, but it's just not enough, as the cask does so much stun. And Lion, with a newly purchased Dagon, is insane at this point. So much burst damage between them. Does hit a Marina arrow, but Marina just no chance at this point. She just does not have the physical damage. Working her way to a Desolator, but I don't think she's going to get it anytime soon. And without that Desolator, she just does not have the physical damage to carry. And that's been the story of this game. Slow Gaming had the magical damage and CC, but that doesn't matter when BKBs come online and teams play very safe like the Mighty Ducks did. First set of racks is down. Clockwork going to be up in 20 seconds. I expect to see a rotation into the top lane, as that lane is pushing. And they will be able to pick up this outer tower for some free gold. I don't think there's going to be any real contention for that tower, as Slow Gaming really needs to pick a good fight at their base. Alchemist on his way towards a Hyperstone and the rest of the Assault Cuirass. Witch Doctor is going to be having his Aghanim Scepter very, very soon.
Oh, look at it go!
Lion in a bit of trouble, but no one's going to be able to follow it up. They could have tried to get the familiars there in time or get a stomp on, but he's just too slow, as he does get away. Lion doing a very good job this game of getting multi-person stuns with those Earth Spikes, and getting Sheeps on the Marina as soon as she comes into the fight so that she doesn't get anything. Bit of trash talk coming in chat, as both teams know that this is getting towards the end of the game, and there's not a whole lot that slow gaming can do outside of just winning one big team fight. At this point in the game, one big team fight is all you really need to make a comeback and get a very good win. As it looks like Marina looking for a kill. She's just wanting to find someone in this jungle. If she can find a good pick off on someone like the Alchemist or even Lion or Witch Doctor, it's going to make the next fight incredibly easy, as you don't have a significant source of crowd control. Juggernaut going to run forward. He should be able to get onto Elder Titan in just a moment. Elder Titan's going to have to run really quick, and I don't think he has the speed. Night Stalker up there as well. Elder Titan going to try and teleport away, and does, thanks to that tree. Beautiful juke. And that's just an excellent play. Running around the tree perfectly. Juggernaut burns his ultimate on some creeps, but I don't think they need it at this point. They're in a commanding lead on the side of Mighty Ducks. 12,000 all in the last about 10 minutes. It's been virtually even the entire game, but one or two fights and BKBs coming online have been the entire difference. Same story with experience. Slow gaming had their opportunities early, but they just didn't draft a lineup that went late enough. I think that's been their real downfall. Night Stalker and the rest of Mighty Ducks going to be continuing to push this top lane. Arrow flies, but just off the mark. As the Elder Titan has finally finished that BKB. Not sure how helpful it is at this point, as it's not damage, and that's really been what slow gaming's lacked. They've had decent survivability. It's just being able to kill anyone, as the Alchemist insanely tanky. Night Stalker over 2,000 health and an Assault Cross, as we're going to have two Assault Cross up, as the Alchemist is finishing off his as well. Juggernaut going to run in. He does have his ultimate if he wants to use it, but I don't think he wants to at this point. He just needs to wait for a good set of initiation. Elder Titan going to throw out a good ultimate, and it does kill the Witch Doctor right off the bat. Clockwork not taking a whole lot of damage from the ultimate of Juggernaut. And there's a beautiful Fiend's Grip, keeping the Night Stalker at bay, and before he gets the BKB off, and he's going to take him very low, and is taken out. No one so far has died on slow gaming. Visage was low. Arrow flies just off the mark. Clockwork going to be able to get in there and do some good damage to Lion. And Lion will not be able to finish the kill. 70 HP. Juggernaut very low. Elder Titan going to run forward. Marina needs 3 seconds to get her arrow back up. But a huge win for slow gaming. As Alchemist jumps in the back lines, going to be able to pick up the Clockwork. Or maybe not, as he gets a good force staff away. Marina is finally picked off thanks to some buybacks. And this is just going to be a snowball in Mighty Ducks' favor. Excellent fight by slow gaming. They did everything they could to make a comeback, but they were just down way too hard, as they've just been in a free fall since those BKBs were picked up. And this should be a good game. I don't see any real buybacks at this point. Visage could buy back, and Bane could buy back, but that doesn't do you any real good, especially considering Fiend's Grip's still on a cooldown until he actually respawns. Juggernaut does kill the Visage in the middle lane, as Visage does buy back. He does not have his familiars though, and that's a key part of the Visage, as yet another Rax will fall. Familiar sitting up top, just trying to be annoying at this point, as this is Mighty Ducks' game. They played incredibly well. Marina finally finishes off that Desolator, but it's just a little too late. Clockwork with a BKB as well instead of going for the Aghanim Scepter. Kind of surprising, as the arrow does fly in just off the mark. He will be able to pick up the Witch Doctor. Don't think he's getting out of this. Good use of cast though, just to stall and make sure that his team gets out safely. Clockwork has a hook, and he will be able to hook the Juggernaut. BKB does fly, but he did not have his cogs up, and he should be able to pop them, as he does actually use the Force Staff, and that is Juggernaut down. He does buy back immediately though. And this is the only chance that slow gaming has at this point. They have to make a big push here. Unless they get a Rax or two at this point, I don't think they're going to be able to hold off these minion waves for too long. Moonlight Shadow is popped as BKBs fly. Finger Grip used on the Alchemist, but it is not enough. There's the ultimate from Juggernaut, and that should seal the deal, as it just does an insane amount of damage. Good effort here by Slow Gaming. They kept it incredibly close through the entire game. And they had some very well-coordinated team fights throughout the mid-game. They just didn't have that hard carry. And I really think that if Slow Gaming picked a harder carry instead of Marina, they could have made a very good stand in this mid-game and possibly even won the game. They had great coordination. They just need to work on farming a bit and drafting slightly better lineups, as Elder Titan and Clockwork just don't provide the damage when you have a Marina, Bane, and Visage. This will be a good game at any point here, as it looks like we're going to see a bit of fountain diving at the end. Juggernaut finally finishing off that Manta style, which means he's insanely strong. Another good combo as Juggernaut might go down, but the Cask is way too strong. It's keeping everyone at bay. Familiar's doing a decent job of holding this bottom lane, but it's over at this point. Juggernaut did pop his ultimate for nothing, as Visage is in a lot of trouble. Clockwork does come in, does pop his BKB, but doesn't get anyone in the cogs. And if he did get someone in the cogs, it might have been able to turn this around. But there's just not enough damage anywhere. Look, Doctor's trying to run. He does not get the chance to. Alchemist gets a good stun off, but he's just not in shape to fight. And Visage might go down to the minions, as they really want to pick up this kill on the Alchemist, but he is just too fast and too tanky. Marina leaps forward, gets a good auto attack off, but is stunned right away. Clockwork almost up, but the Alchemist gets a good blink. And they're just trying for some last minute kills at this point. Graphs just showed right about 27, 28 minutes. It went all downhill after virtually a perfectly even game with kills being traded on both sides. Same thing with experience, and that's just what happens in a game like this. Take a quick look at kills and farm, as you've got a few moments before this actually ends, as they're really willing to finish the fight till the end, not wanting to give up at all. And that's admirable. It's just nothing they can do on the side of Slow Gaming.
Radiant's Ancient is under attack.
And this should be a good game at any point as soon as the minions come in. Mega Creeps have finally spawned. And this is going to be Mighty Ducks taking this game. This is team matchmaking here. I am Pander. And thank you for watching. And we're just waiting for the game to finish out. There's nothing we can really viably see, as that's a beautiful ultimate by Witch Doctor. Just showing off how powerful you can be. Get some insane damage across. As the Juggernaut will seal the deal, popping a very good ultimate. And Clockwork lives at the last second. Very good game between Slow Gaming and the Mighty Ducks. Well played by both of them. It was just Slow Gaming running out of time on their lineup. They got a bunch of good fights going. You just have to seal the deal when you have a lineup that's basically all about mid-game team fighting, and they couldn't do it this time. Thank you for watching this game cast by Pander.